If you're looking for an alternative to your standard tire chain, something that's not going to get tangled up like your regular tire chains or broken in some type of conditions, or you're looking for something that you can drive in areas that aren't allowed to have tire chains, then the Titan Chain Snow Socks are going to be the best bet for you. We're going to have this on a 2023 Nissan Rogue, and our tire size is going to be 235, 60, R18, and it's going to be on our front axle. Now, if you're concerned that this won't fit your vehicle, you can actually plug in your vehicle's information into our fit guide to find what's going to be the correct fit for you. So let's check it out. These are going to be great if you're driving in any areas that have a decent amount of snow, and that's going to be because how these socks function. When you're driving in those areas, what's going to happen is the snow is going to stick to the surface area of the sock. And since we have a lot of surface area here, you're going to have a lot of snow building up. And these socks are actually going to be using that additional snow that's being built on here as more traction to get through that area. And this is going to be because this is made out of polyolefin material. And what that's doing is it's allowing this to stretch, but also be very strong too. And where we're getting a lot of that stretch as well is from this rim right here. This has the ability to really stretch around a tire and secure it down. And what I really like about this is once you're done using this, you can simply just remove this from your tire, and you can even wash it if you drive through any more muddy areas. But what I don't recommend is drying it in your dryer because that could damage something. So I'd recommend just air drying it. But something to think about when you're driving on the roads, I think this is going to be more ideal for those snowy conditions. Now, if you're driving through a lot of areas that have ice, I'd definitely keep an eye on this because, like I was saying earlier, this is actually grabbing onto the snow and attaching it to your tire or the sock. That's not going to be as possible or likely with ice. These are also going to come in this pretty light duty bag, and if I open it up completely, there'll be 2 pockets on either side. It also comes with some very light duty gloves. But honestly, all of this, I wouldn't keep it in my opinion because it's pretty light duty and it's just as easy just to fold them up and put them in one of the pockets in your vehicle. In my opinion, I think this is a great option if you are driving through more of those snowy conditions, especially with how low profile this is, because with the Nissan Rogue, we don't have a whole lot of space behind or near our suspension. So finding something very low profile is definitely a benefit. Now, if you need to get through those more icy conditions too, then I'd recommend tire chains that have square links on them. But if that's not really a big concern for you, then this is going to be great too. If you are curious to see what the installation process looks like, just stay tuned and we'll walk you through it. To start off the installation, I'm going to grab some gloves and grab this sock. I like to lay it out and afterwards check it over too. And here's one of the reasons why I like to check it over. This is actually inside out. You can tell because we have this tag. So I'm going to just flip this the correct way. Another thing you want to check is to make sure nothing's damaged on this. So what you should look for is on the threading where this is, this stretchy area. We want to make sure there's nothing really coming up. Everything still looks secured. And if it does, then we can place it on our tire. And what that's going to look like is by starting from the top, you're just going to stretch this out and wrap it around. And then I'm going to work my way down, going back and forth from front to back. I'm going to stretch it out and push around. And here you're going to have to really work with it a bit because we want to make sure we don't have it too far on one side. Make sure everything's getting across, nothing's sitting too low. And where I like to check is going to the top, placing my hand on the back, and finding where that rim is. I'm trying to gauge what's going to be even on both sides, and I can use this as a reference point to go all the way across now. After when you've done this, you'll notice the bottom half isn't all the way secured yet. So what we're going to have to do is pull forward a little bit until this bottom area is on top, and then we can secure it the rest of the way. With it in this position, you can see it's going to be a lot easier to do now. I'm just going to stretch it over here. Make sure everything's looking correct. And after when you've finished adjusting it and it looks pretty good, then if you haven't already, you can put on the other sock on the other side. I have to do mine at the same time, but I'll leave that up to you. And it's not a bad idea to test it one more time to pull forward or back some, just to make sure this sock isn't falling up when you pull forward. And if it's being secured and looking pretty good, then you can take it out for a ride. But that's just a look at the Titan Chain Snow Sock on our 2023 Nissan Rogue. Thanks for watching.